Hi, I wanted to take a few minutes this afternoon to share with you my idea of what it takes to be successful in the internet and to sort of firm up some thoughts that I've had that may be useful to you in terms of what leadership really is. What it is that you need to learn and who it is you need to follow and what it is you need to do in order to be successful on the internet. Now, everything you're going to hear from almost everyone else is brand you, brand this, brand me, brand I. You're also going to hear authenticity. You're also going to hear be a leader. I'm not saying that any of that is not true. In fact, it may all be true. But it's true in degrees. And some of it applies to you and some of it doesn't. Because the simple fact is that not everybody can be a leader. Not everybody can be a guru on the net. I mean, think of how many millions of people. There's 15 million people involved in multi-level marketing alone. There's another 30 or 40 million people who are involved in some sort of business, some sort of distribution on the net. And between you and myself and 20 other people who I'd put into a room, we would be able to come up with the names of 30 or 40, quote, internet gods or goddesses at the most. So the chances of us being the leader, the guru, are pretty slim. And if that's what it takes to make money online, well, you may want to think about doing something else. Or maybe that's not what it takes to make money online. Maybe that's not what it takes to be an internet marketer, and a very, very good one. Maybe that's not what it takes to be successful at multi-level marketing. And again, I'm talking about success that translates directly into your pocketbook. So that's what I want to address with you. Yeah, it's fine to brand. People do have to know who you are. People do have to have some confidence before they're going to join your team. And yes, it's true that in order for them to join your team, you're going to have some leadership skills. But look, not everybody is the leader. Not everybody is the leader. So what do you have to exhibit so that people will want to be on your team? Well, I'm going to tell you it's authenticity. More than anything else, that's what is going to come through, and it's going to come through for a couple of reasons. They involve who you are, but they also involve the role of leadership. So let's start with leadership first. What does a leader do? A leader does not necessarily take you to extraordinary heights. Sometimes they will, and there'll be a few students, a very few students, who will go to those extraordinary heights. But a leader is someone who recognizes your strengths and your weaknesses and embellishes both of them so that you do develop your strengths and you do develop your weaknesses, but you can develop those things in different ways and you address them differently. If you have a true strength right now, let's say you're just a whiz, you're just technological as crazy, well, great. Let's get you building a website. Let's get you a blog. Let's get you all that sophistication, and then I'll help you, or the leader will help you, develop some skills as to what to put on that blog and what to say and how to say it. Suppose you're great at relationship skills. Well, okay, there's lots of ways that you can relate to people. Video marketing is a great way. So, yeah, we'll embellish the skill that you have around relationships and teach you techniques. So that's the role of leadership. The leadership role is to embellish who you are, to embellish those things that you bring to the table. Everybody's great at something. Everybody. In my days of coaching as a basketball coach, and they go back some years, I was pretty successful. The reason I was successful was that I was a strategist. I could take a look at a kid playing high school basketball and know, just for a certainty, what kind of system that person would thrive in. What did I need to do to surround that person with a system that would bring his full potential to the basketball floor? And what did I have to teach him so that he would be better? Now, I will tell you that during a game, I could be outfoxed. I was not the best at in-game tactics. I was great at strategy, not the best at tactics. So what did I study? What did I spend my time on? Tactics. And who did I surround myself with? Assistant coaches and even captains, either members of my team, quote, who would help me with that, because that was the area that I needed help. And so a coach is also willing to stand back and say, hey, you know what? I may not be able to teach you that. I see you, that's your strength. And if I'm not the person who can develop that strength for you, we'll find somebody. We'll find them together, and I'll make sure that person is on task, because we want you to be all that you can be. We want you to develop your strengths so that you feel great about what you're doing. And that's when leadership emerges. When you are doing something really well, so well that people want to follow you, that's when leadership comes out. I love what Tony Robbins has to say on this subject. Just love this. If you want to learn how to do something well, Tony says, you find someone who is doing that thing and you copy them. Now, I've done that, and here's what I found out as I've copied things, as I've copied people, as I've copied systems. Because there's lots of things that I wanted to do and didn't know how to do. What I found out was that those people who I wanted to copy, they knew a good deal, but they also knew where to go to get their coaching. They also knew where to go to help their authenticity blossom, develop into even more areas. So I'm not saying don't brand yourself. I'm not saying don't be a great leader. I'm not saying that I am saying you have to be totally authentic. But in those other areas, again, there's only so many people who are going to rise to the top, and you don't have to be, quote, the guru. You don't have to be the great leader in order to flourish on the internet. You can parlay one or two small skills, one or two things that you do well, and gradually grow your business and gradually become more of the person who you want to be. And that's the other thing that leadership does. If all a leader is going to do is give you a system, if all a leader is going to do is to teach you how to do one specific thing, then frankly, they're not a leader. They're a senior patrol leader as opposed to a general. Or they're someone who helps you get to sort of a step or two along the way, but they're not going to bring you to the top of the ladder. That's what a true leader does. A true leader says, look, there are steps to your development. I see that. And I'm going to help you get to the next step and the next step and the next step. And eventually, you reach a level where, wow, you know what? I want to start breaking out on my own. I want to see what those next steps are. And I may need a leader occasionally, but I don't need that leader as often. Because again, you develop into who you are. And my final message is, be sure that you are involved with someone who loves what you do, because you have to love what you do. Let the beauty of who you are be what you do. And if you do that, and if you're willing to say, I can learn the other skills, and if you're willing to say, you know what, I can be a sergeant or a lieutenant on this team, I don't have to be the general. The generals are few and far between. You're going to be way, way ahead of the game. Because lots of lieutenants and lots of sergeants in our industry make very, very, very significant sums of income. And they never develop into the general, and they don't have to be. So I guess what I'm saying is, yeah, you got to brand yourself. Yes, you do want to develop leadership skills, and eventually you may want to become, quote, the leader, but it isn't necessary. What is necessary is that you be authentic, that you love what you do, that you do those things that you love with passion, and that you're willing to open up to develop some of the strengths that you don't have. That's what being authentic is all about. And the type of leader who recognizes that and will help you with that, that's the person whose team you want to be on.